Hey there, you amazing fitness warriors. Protein, oat hat magical macronutrient we all love to shake up in our fancy bottles and talk about non-stop at the gym. We're always stressing about getting enough protein to fuel those gains, right? But have you ever wondered, can you actually have too much protein? Could your training shake be feeding your liver instead of your muscles, and maybe even adding fat? Just like we know excess carbs can lead to fat gain, does the same apply to protein? Today, we're diving deep into the science of protein, what your body really needs it for, and what happens when you go overboard. Spoiler alert, it's not just about your muscles. This is going to be an anatomical and physiological adventure, and I promise it'll be a fun one. Let's jump in and make your fitness journey a little wiser, and a whole lot stronger. 1. Macronutrient breakdown, setting the stage. Before we unravel the protein mystery, let's do a quick comparison of the three macronutrients: carbs, fats, and proteins. You've probably heard people say, carbs make you fat. But I always find that a bit ironic, because what about the fat you just ate? Dietary fat that isn't used for energy gets stored as fat, no major conversions needed. It's like the easiest path to your fat reserves. Carbs, on the other hand, have a bit more of a journey. When you eat carbs, they're absorbed as glucose, or converted to glucose by the liver in the case of fructose. That glucose fuels your immediate energy needs or maintains your blood sugar. Any extra? It gets stored as glycogen, the storage form of glucose, in your liver, about 100 to 120 grams, and skeletal muscles 400 to 500 grams total, higher if you exercise regularly. That increased glycogen storage is one of the many blessings of exercise. It lets you eat more carbs before they turn to fat. But here's the catch, your body only converts carbs to fat after your glycogen stores are full. With all the added sugars in our foods, it's easy to overshoot that limit, but it still takes work. So, can we apply these same rules to protein? Can excess protein be stored or turned into fat? Let's find out. 2. Meet your new best friend, the Hume Health Body Pod. Before we dive deeper into protein, let's talk about a tool that can be a total game changer for your fitness journey, the Hume Health Body Pod. This isn't your average bathroom scale. It's a clinical-grade body analyzer that uses bioelectrical impedance to deliver over 45 metrics, like skeletal muscle mass, body fat percentage, hydration levels, and even your metabolic age. It breaks down data by body region, so I discovered some mild muscle imbalances between my left and right sides, super helpful for targeting my workouts. I was skeptical about at-home devices claiming 98% accuracy, but I tested the Body Pod against lab-based body composition tests, and the results were nearly identical. I've been using it for weeks, logging weigh-ins, syncing my sleep and workouts, and setting milestone goals in the app. Plus, it's HSA and FSA eligible, a blessing for your wallet. Want to know your body better? Check out the Body Pod with the coupon code TheAnatomyLab to kickstart your health optimization. Now, let's get back to that protein puzzle. 3. Protein's true role, more than just muscle. So, why do we need protein? If you ask most gym-goers, they'll say, to build muscle. And that's true, but it's only part of the story. When you eat protein, it's broken down into amino acids in your digestive system, absorbed through the intestinal wall, and sent to the liver via the bloodstream. The liver is like the body's traffic controller, deciding where those amino acids go. About 20% of them stay in the liver to produce energy or create vital proteins like liver enzymes and plasma proteins, which transport substances or support immune functions. Then, every cell and tissue in your body needs amino acids to make enzymes, structural proteins, hormones, and even antibodies from your white blood cells. Only after all these needs are met do your skeletal muscles get amino acids for growth and repair. It's like your muscles are last in line at the amino acid buffet. This is why protein is so much more than a muscle building tool, it's a blessing for your entire body's function. 4. How much protein do you really need? So, how much protein do you need to cover all these roles and build muscle? It depends on your activity level and goals. The range is about 1 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. If you're moderately active, 1 gram per kilo is enough. But if you're a bodybuilder, athlete, or ultra-endurance runner burning tons of calories, you might need 2 to 2.2 grams per kilo to support muscle growth or energy demands. Let me tell you, hitting 2 grams per kilo from food alone, without protein shakes, takes some serious effort. Chicken, eggs, and beans are great, but they fill you up fast. That's why protein supplements can be a blessing for those high targets. But here's the big question, what if you eat more than you need? Does it just pile up as muscle, or something else? Let's find out. 5. What happens to excess protein? Unlike carbs, which get stored as glycogen, or fats, which go straight to fat reserves, your body doesn't have an amino acid storage tank. Your amino acid pool in the bloodstream is always in flux. If you eat more protein than you need, say, 2.2 grams per kilo when 1.6 grams would do, the liver steps in. It strips the amino group from those extra amino acids, leaving a carbon skeleton. Think of it as the molecule's backbone. From there, your body has two choices: use that carbon skeleton to produce ATP, the energy currency of your cells, or convert it to fatty acids and store it as fat. But here's the key, what happens depends on your other macronutrients. Let's break it down with two scenarios. Scenario 1, low carbs and fats. If you're eating 2 grams of protein per kilo but not enough carbs or fats to meet your energy needs, your body uses those excess amino acids for energy. No fat gain here, your liver's just helping you power through. Scenario 2, high carbs and fats. If you're eating enough, or too many, carbs and fats and extra protein, those carbon skeletons can turn into fat. Your body's already got enough energy from carbs and fats, so it stores the excess. The good news? Excess protein is rarely the main culprit for fat gain. Your body prefers carbs and fats for energy first, so protein is like the third string player. Plus, protein is harder to overeat, more on that next. 6. Why protein is harder to overeat than carbs. Here's why protein isn't usually the fat gain villain, it's super satiating. Protein-rich foods like chicken, eggs, or lentils make you feel fuller than carbs, especially sugary ones. Think about it, add a couple of spoonfuls of sugar to a bowl of fruit, and it's tastier but doesn't fill you up anymore. You've just added calories that push you closer to overflowing your glycogen stores, which leads to fat storage. Sugary drinks are even worse, those calories sneak in without making you feel full, unlike a protein-packed meal. It's so easy to overeat carbs, especially with all the added sugars in our foods and drinks. Protein, on the other hand, naturally helps you stop eating sooner. That's a blessing for keeping your diet in check without feeling deprived. 7. Nuances and practical tips. Now, let's address a few nuances. I'm not anti-carb or anti-sugar, carbs have their place. For example, I'm running a marathon next week, and those energy gels packed with simple sugars are a lifesaver. They hit my bloodstream fast to fuel my muscles over 26.2 miles, especially when my glycogen stores are running low. And about protein, your muscles don't always get the short end of the stick. When you exercise, you signal your body to prioritize muscle protein synthesis, so those amino acids are more likely to go to your gains. Want more details? Check out our other videos on protein absorption and how much you need based on activity, I'll link them below. Tools like the Hume Health Body Pod and Cal AI, from our previous talks, can also help you track your progress and nutrition to make every gram of protein count. 8. The big picture, balance is the blessing. So, can your training shake feed your liver instead of your gains? Yes, if you're eating way more protein than you need and overloading on carbs and fats, those extra amino acids could turn into fat. But in reality, protein's high satiety and lower priority as an energy source make it less likely to be the problem. The real key is balance. Pair your protein with the right amount of carbs and fats to fuel your body without excess. You don't need to chug endless shakes to build muscle, just hit your protein target, 1 to 2.2 grams per kilo, stay consistent with your workouts, and use tools like the Body Pod to track your progress. You're not just feeding your muscles, you're nourishing your whole body for a healthier, stronger you. That's the true blessing of understanding your nutrition. Thank you for joining me on this protein-packed journey. You're now armed with the knowledge to make your diet work for you. Check out those linked videos for more, grab that Body Pod with code TheAnatomyLab, and keep supporting our channel. You're amazing, and we'll see you in the next one.